Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D!
Right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. That guy over there, that's D-Mac, Darren McCarty. We have, of course, Spencer Raxter.
Hello.
We have, of course, KG.
What up, though?
And, of course, we have intern Justin, a.k.a. Jesus, in the house.
You're...
All right. So we are locked. We are loaded. Look, a lot of times, I always like to say our audience, and by the way, our audience, always awesome. So certainly jump into that Woodward Sports chat thread, subscribe to Woodward Sports YouTube channel, get your thoughts in there. But a lot of times, we just we chat and stuff like that, and I kind of go where the audience takes us. What do you got, Spenmo?
Ryan.
Oh, he saw.
Yeah, Ryan sent me something for KG's top 5 list, and it's really funny.
Okay. Well, yeah, I can't wait for it. But we have a lot of stuff to get to here today, D-Mac. There was, I guess, around town, some Jared Goff news. I'm calling bullshit on some people in the media. You're going to like this. It's going to get aggressive.
Okay.
We're going to do that in about 12 minutes, D-Mac. You're going to like it, too.
I can't wait.
Yeah, everyone's going to like it because I've had enough. But we will certainly get there. Top 5 Wednesday here on Thursday. Top 5 movie/TV villains.
Love it.
We expanded the TV?
Well, I mean, villains,
Nah, man, I wish I had known that. I might have made some revisions. But
Me as well. I thought it was movies as well. You told me that.
Well, you know what? If you follow the chat thread, Spencer Raxter made a plea late in the evening before some of our lists were made. And, I mean, you could have revised it to whatever. Because he made just a little bit behind the scene, because he made that, my number 1 is said TV villain.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. And we'll get, I felt like it opened a couple more doors.
It's all right, Kenny. Your list is still great.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
We can do a revised,
Yeah. But anyway, whatever.
KG
we're going to get there and we're going to do it. Everybody could just STFU and let's get the list out there, all right? So, but it is Top 5 Wednesday here on a Thursday. So top 5 villains. How about movie concentration with TV sprinkled in for effect? So
right,
I just thought that my number 5 was such a great villain and low-key villain that we had to put it in there. Also, too, did want to touch on last night, the Tigers, by the way. Hey, El Mago's back. I'm not doing the El Mago update. you know what? You want the El Mago update? He got picked off second in extra innings on a ground ball in front of him.
Yeah. It was
unforgivable.
I don't know what he was thinking.
And you know what? He should not play tomorrow.
Yeah.
He should not play.
I agree.
And I don't care. I don't care how much that hurts his feelings. I don't care anymore. You cannot do that, D-Mac. Cannot.
Well, those are just the small things that if he's not doing that, then you can accept. We can say, okay, well, he's playing good defense or he's not costing you on the base. But you can't afford to do that when you're hitting under 200 and hanging on. So, but again, is this not Javi being Javi? Yep. I mean, this is sort of on brand, right?
It is.
It's weird. I didn't get one El Mago.
So
last back year, the moment El Mago was back, which was yesterday, I got not one El Mago is back tweet. Spenny, you were quiet on it.
Yeah.
So let's see. Last year, remember last year when he did stuff like this that didn't benefit the team and it was, bad baseball, so to speak. AJ Hinch sat him down. So maybe that's what's going to happen. Who knows? I doubt it. But again, the money that is being paid to this guy to do these things is getting more egregious.
Yeah. Rack. So he's not a great base runner anymore or a defender. Looks like he's only a great tagger. Now, Rack, you gotta cut the guy some slack, man. Like you got to cut him some slack, bro. But no, we're gonna do a segment on the Tigers. We are. And KG, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna take it.
Hey, by all means.
Yeah,
pause. Big pause. But by all means, though.
Hey, yo!
No, so yeah, we're gonna get to it. There is a lot to get to. There's a lot of Lions discussion as well, and it's gonna be Lions heavy in that first hour. Trevor James from Detroit City FC will join us after their electric victory over the Houston Dynamo. And D-Mac with Trevor James, because Detroit City does this, the Lions do this. I'll tell you guys this, and I think I've talked about it before. The Oakland team that I covered this year, it just kind of morphed into it. I used to laugh at culture when people would say culture, because I always said, show me a winning team, I'll show you good culture. Winning is the culture. When you win, things are good. But I'm starting to turn on that a little, D-Mac.
No, because there's more to it.
There is more to it.
Yes, that is one type of culture. That's what makes everything right. That's when you don't get questions at the end of the day. That's the easiest thing, is to win. But how do you get there? Because most teams can't put that all together. And how many times have we seen it when you amass the top talent, but yet it doesn't mesh? That's the culture. So you need the yings and the yangs. And I think, when you're comparing culture in this city, right now, it's DCFC and it's the Detroit Lions as far as how they're built. And you can attest, because you broadcast and have to look at these, whatever like this, these teams are built with different players having different roles.
Yeah.
Right? Not the same role, not all the top guys and stuff like this, but sort of specialists, and owning their position and knowing that their job is the most important for their teams to be successful. And what are we seeing? That the culture propels you to the wins and the victories and stuff like that. When you have the culture in place, then the winning takes care of itself, and then it sort of steamrolls.
Yeah, and it's not just like the most high-priced guy or the quote-unquote best guy to the eyeball test or anything like that. I want to ask Trevor about that. Do you target specific people?
And I think that, the question and what we're seeing with DCFC really is the benefit not only of Trevor James getting to choose the coach that he wants to with this team that he's set up, but now he gets to sit in the background, sort of, and lack of a better term, up in the suite above everybody.
Up where I am.
Right. Lording.
He's in the room next to me.
He lords over, as he should lord over everybody. But then, his time's more spent to putting this team together. And the success, right? You don't just walk into an MLS stadium, right, and win the way that they did, and especially come back and stuff like that. So, again, putting roles together. You mentioned it yesterday, Neal, when we were talking from Feldman, the fact of that it was your backup goalkeeper because you're playing this game and that game and this game and all this. So you have to have depth. And I think that's what both, getting back to the Detroit Lions and DCFC with their culture, is depth is a big part of that culture.
No, and the Lions are doing it too. So I'm going to ask him about that. I have a critical Tigers question for everybody, and this is going to cut to the core of Spencer Raxter. And I'm sorry, Spenny, but you're actually, it'll cut to your core, but you won't be broken up about it because you've already alluded to the fact that you're aware of this. It's with Sunday's Tigers game. So I have a question for the fans.
I know what this is.
Yes, you do. I'm sure you do. And if you've watched this show for more than 20 minutes, you'll know what I'm talking about already, because there are multiple examples of that. But yeah, jump into the Woodward Sports chat thread, get it out there. But D-Mac and guys, I have to tell you this. Last night, I got home, took my son to his jiu-jitsu training, came back, turned on the TV, went boom, right to Panthers Bruins.
Yeah.
And it was electric.
You mean the game with 10 fights?
It was KG. And you know me, you guys know me. Like, I'm not a huge fight guy because you win by scoring goals.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, well, we need an enforcer to,
Right.
make them pay. No, you make them pay by scoring on the power. You score on the power play, they won't mess with you anymore.
Yeah.
Like, that's tried and true. But anyway, that's not the point of the issue. The point of the issue is, D-Mac, that was the best 6-1 game I've ever watched in my life. And every stoppage in play, they were going at it. They were going at it, Spenny, so much that the golden boy himself, Matthew Tkachuk, and the Pasta went at each other. When they dropped the gloves, Spenny, I couldn't believe what I was watching. I couldn't believe, D-Mac, what I was watching. Break this down. These are
awesome,
stars.
and
These are stars.
This is awesome, and this is way deeper. What you're seeing right now, and I mentioned this to you before, right? Florida knows exactly being down game one of this series. After last year, remember, they got to the finals, and they lost, which I've done it twice, and it could be worse like that feeling, it
Look at 'em.
exemplifies
These are
it
stars
worse.
going at
But
it.
here's the whole thing, right? This is Matthew Tkachuk. This is why they pay him, not only on the score sheet and stuff like this. He is a rat. He's an instigator, stuff like this. The big thing here is the investment, as you see. Look at David Pastrnak, their 50-goal scorer, their top guy, going to his coach, going, "Can I fight him, coach? I want to go fight him." Right out, both of them off the bench, sort of old school. Now, it's not about whether Tkachuk's supposed to give it to him. But the fact of what that does to that Boston locker room when your top guy says, "I don't give a shit and I'm going out and enough's enough," this just goes to show you what championship pedigree, right? Florida guys have been there. They expect to get back and win this year. Boston, they've just won recently and stuff like this. You nailed it, Neal, as far as in a 6-1 game, because this is way deeper. What you saw there is embedded for the rest of the series. When I say when you're pre-gaming for the playoffs, I have one player, usually a defenseman, that I want to take out of the series or whatever. Well, top guys on top guys like this, it doesn't get any better.
Have
than
you
this.
seen it like that? Have you seen that before, D-Mac? Like
Yeah.
star on star? Like
Yeah.
dropping the gloves like
Right.
that.
So usually yes, and you don't mind that, right? As long as he's not going to get hurt and he wants to do it. Now, I would say no, Pasta, don't go fight, Tkachuk and stuff like this. But if he's adamant, and that goes to show you, because if you're on that bench and you're a role player or you're anybody but David Pastrnak, it's the whole thing is like, man, you give a shit.
No,
like
I got to go out there and do something.
I got to
Yeah.
do whatever it takes, diving in front of a puck, making a hit or whatever. This only makes the intensity of the series go up. That game right there, right? Not only like talent-wise, but this has put them into rivalry mode. In 2020, like these two teams, this is the start of, and we don't think of Boston and Florida as the rival, but they understand about what's at stake here. And like you said, Neal, I love it because I turned it off. And until you started going nuts with the text, then I turned it back on and you could see it because they're trying. I mean, this is old school, taking your manhood and trying to impress it on another human being. And
Whether they
that's
want it or not.
Whether they want it or not. And this is what the series is. So going back to like this is how exciting is this? So even though Boston got dumped 6-1 or whatever, no, this is the best. This is one of the best outcomes for it because it can galvanize a team. So shout out.
Could this have been Florida's moment? Like the moment that changes the fortune of the franchise?
Well, I look at it more of Boston standing
Okay.
up. I look like this is what I expect out of Florida, but this to me can galvanize Boston. When your top guy, right, that isn't a fighter and stuff like this has had enough and goes out against the guy who's, you always expect the Marchands and the Tkachuks and all this stuff, you the Bertuzzis and stuff like this. But when you're 50-goal guy, the guy, and some of it too, Neal, which is great about hockey, he's a little frustrated, Pastrnak, not putting the puck in the net. So this is just a different way that you can dive into it. But to me, it shows you the passion and it's a great sell. It's a great sell for the rest of the series.
For
Spenny,
sure.
were you locked in?
Oh yeah,
I can't wait for this next game.
me too.
I will be locked in.
Both playoffs are great right now.
They are. They are, as a matter of fact. Tomorrow, when we do Sports Media Nickel Package, we'll touch on that a little more about the NHL because there's a bit of an uptick in the rating. I think people are. I'm locked in now. I'm all the way in the rest of the way, all the way to the point where I will adjust Tigers viewing for this, even for Florida Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I won't abandon it, but I'll adjust it. And I'll say it like that. So I am all the way.
Hey, real quick
in.
before we go to break,
Yeah.
your Edmonton Oilers blew a big lead last night.
You don't. I'll say this: you don't recover from that.
You don't?
I don't see how you can.
On the road?
4-1, third period
4-1, shout out.
on the road. You got to have that game. You can't not get that game.
I know you do. So you'll really see the test and resilience.
Yeah.
And
I think Edmonton's in
because it
trouble.
was game one, right? But again, you got to give props to Vancouver. So they're in at Edmonton, but if These are the moments that you find out, right?
Yeah.
If everything we've talked about, because you're going to face adversity.
Real quick, too, some breaking NHL news before we went to air. Sheldon Keefe has been fired from Toronto.
See ya.
Smell you.
Like that's going to change anything.
It'll be interesting now.
Man, hate.
I love it.
Toronto fans are rather quiet these days.
They are, yeah. Weird. Well, it's the circle of life for them. They are always quiet right around this time of year. You should not be quiet when it comes to your home security. You should choose Guardian Alarm loudly.
There's only one, and it's Guardian Alarm. Customized solutions from real experts, professional technicians that take the time to recommend security and automated solutions specific to your needs. But I need you to call Guardian Alarm today. The number 1-800.
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring. Call anytime, day or night. No other Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as it's needed. But I need you to call the number 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technologies that have been proven to work and people have been proven to care. Business, pleasure. Guardian doesn't care. They just want you to call the number 1-800.
Stay out. Stay out of getting swept by the Timberwolves, Nuggets.
Hey, easy, guy. Easy. Stay out of the lineup tomorrow, Javi Baez.
Stay off the base pass, Javi Baez.
Stay out of the game tomorrow.
Guardian
Stay
Alarm
out.
can help with everything. Guardian Alarm, look, security experts, tell them Big D Energy. We sent you.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Michigan loves Soroki's. They've got locations popping up all over Metro Detroit. They've doubled their locations this year, known for their hand-battered, hand-breaded chicken tenders, their delicious chicken sandwich, and their New York-style pizza. Soroki's is the best you can get. Stop into any mega station near you to get some, or go to Sorokis.com to figure out where you can find some for yourself.
All right, we're off and running here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network on a Thursday. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Spencer, Raxter, KG, intern Justin in the building. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Click the like button, subscribe to it, drop your comments in there. Woodward Sports chat thread, Tony D, $95 million mistake is Baez. No, Tony D, that was a $150 million mistake.
Yeah.
They've already paid 50 of it. Only $96 million more to go.
Whew.
Jeez.
Let me just go on my wallet here.
Yep. Yes. Yeah, so that is it. But yes, some news around town. Brad Holmes was on the one of the local sports networks in town on 97.1 this morning talking to their morning show. And it kind of went off like a bomb, I think, a little bit.
Okay.
The quote from Brad Holmes was, quote, "Golf has earned an extension. It is a high priority." And yeah.
Oh.
And it was funny to me, D-Mac, because I hear the people around town and they're like, oh, well, I feel a little better about the situation. What was there to ever feel bad about? This is what I don't understand. And D-Mac, here's the deal. You had some people in this town that took liberties with an Adam Schefter tweet that made the message be like, the sides are far apart. In no language did Adam Schefter ever say, did any insider ever say that the sides are, quote, far apart. So my problem with that is that was clickbaity bullshit on the part of some of the media in this town to say it that way when Schefter never tweeted. He said no deal is imminent. And i.e., when deals are getting announced back to back like that, and he says no deal is imminent, it means like it's not coming today, it's not coming this week. Brad Holmes said it. If you listen to this show, and I apologize to everybody out there, I said, I'm sorry. I don't have any bullshit to hit you with that I'm going to make up right now. I don't, because I go by what's happening. And D-Mac, to this show, it doesn't come as a surprise that he would say that, because it's going to get done and it's going to happen.
It was always going to get done.
It was always going to get done, D-Mac. I'm tired of that shit. I am, for real. Like, people, their sides are far apart. Nobody said that.
Well, it sounds like one person did, and he made it up. I mean, it's like like who says it? The stupids, or people that don't realize how this team does business. First of all, look at who you re-sign. Like, I always put myself in the conversation thing. Who's the guy in your locker room that's probably spends more time in the coach's room or the GM's room in conversation with the coach and GM on this team? Mm-hmm. Who do you think it is? Jared Goff? Do you think that they have this communication? Do you think that the plan to re-sign Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Penei Sewell before the draft was not talked about? Like they're on full communication?
Yeah.
He's going to get his money. It's going to be around $50 million to whatever else. He is their quarterback moving forward. That's never not been the case. So,
yeah. I
mean, it's just people looking for stuff because why isn't it done? Because it doesn't need to be done yet. But I can't help anybody who doesn't believe that from everything that you've heard, from the relationship, the way everything's talked, the way that Brad Holmes runs this operation, there's no smoke and mirrors in anything. He's already told you that Goff's his guy long time ago. He brought him here. It's going to get done. It's just, you can argue with the number. And I always still believe between 45 and 50. Probably the longer it takes, the closer to 50.
Spenny, do we still have that tweet, by the way? Schefter's tweet by chance or no?
I can find it.
Yeah, I was just looking for it. I couldn't.
DNC got to you. I saw it.
Yeah, well, because I want to read it to everybody.
Yeah.
Because I want to see where they said the sides aren't close. I want to see it.
He did not say that.
Well, DNC, show me.
Said no deal was imminent. But my only thing is, to me, Shefty gets more blame in this because he came to town. The draft was going on in Detroit. He knows the golf topic is a hot topic in this town. He wanted to get some eyes on him. So he releases a tweet with very coded language. The deal isn't imminent. He knew that people were going to take that and run with it. So I know that you're blaming like Detroit sports local media, but you don't think Shefty gets any blame in this? Because it seems like a clickbait maneuver by him to me.
I think he was just reporting what he was told.
I think he clickbait the reporters. That's what it was.
Yeah,
he just threw it out there because they know how stupid some of them are.
Exactly.
And he let him go.
And
no, because it's sort of like, watch, I'm going to throw this out. I got nothing to say.
Yeah.
So.
He knew this would be big news in this town, especially during draft weekend. So.
Here, I got it right here.
Yes. So, yeah, you have it right there.
There it is,
yeah, there is no deal imminent for Lions QB Jared Goff, despite the fact that Ruhl and St. Brown have now landed deals. Lions and Goff has spoken about a new deal this offseason, but no deal is close at this time. In no way did that say the sides are not close.
Yeah.
Nowhere does it say that. And close, when contracts are getting announced that day, the day before, multiple contracts, not close means like you're not getting one today, tomorrow, next week, next month. Mm-hmm. Like that was my problem with it. People in this town, they word for word said the sides are not close. And that was the narrative.
Yeah.
And again, maybe I'm bad at my job for this. Maybe I am. But I'm not participating in that shit. A lot like 7-on-7 tweets of David Blau scoring touchdowns and taking the team down the field in May. I'm not participating in bullshit. Yeah. I'm not doing it, D-Mac. That is where I draw the line. So if that's a problem, then I can't help you. I'm not making shit up. I'm not doing it, dude. So anyone that said, quote, the sides aren't close.
Yeah. And
that's false.
You got to read the context clues, and they've been there the whole time. If you watch Goff go on some of these podcasts, you can tell by the body language and how he talks about the team. You can tell that he knows that he's going to get paid. And like D-Mac said, of course, they've discussed this with this guy. You're not going to sign Amon-Ra St. Brown to a big extension and not tell your quarterback. a smart organization is not going to do that. So, yeah, you just got to read between lines. Go ahead, D-Man.
No, I was just going to say, let's go to the money guy.
Yeah.
Let's go to Neal. Neal, when does this deal have to be done? Is there a deadline, or is it do they have to the end of next season? Or
Yeah, I mean, technically you do.
So does anybody not think that the deal could be done? I think the deal could be done anytime between now and then. It's going to get done when Brad Holmes figures out, because it's going to be team friendly, right? So what I mean by team friendly is that it's going to be able to be maneuvered like the other quarterback deals with money and stuff and salary cap. So I think that they're probably figuring out how it best suits this team. And you had to go through this offseason. You had to go through all this draft. To me, there's no rush. What are we in a rush for, right? You think that if you rush, you're going to get them cheaper? I don't think I think the number is where the number's at. I think that they've come to a soft agreement of what it is. They're just trying to figure out how to not, right? Because here's what good teams do. They don't sign big contracts like this that hinder the club, right? There's got to be ways to be able to maneuver for other money and other guys and stuff like this, right? Down the road, coming up, you got Hutch and you have Laporte and, so to me, I think this goes into that conversation of why one of the reasons it's not done now.
DNC said we went through this already, Neal. It's the last line of the tweet. People read the words and not the meaning. That's part of it.
Yeah.
When you do this job, man, like there's a certain level of responsibility. And when you hear the words, they are not close. And that went around town. Did it not?
They took it too literal.
Spenny?
Yes, it did.
They took it way too literal.
Well, and if anybody at the network here used that, then they were wrong.
But
they were out of line.
But to KG's point, he didn't have to put imminent in quotations, right? Which sort of like that was.
But
that's probably the quote he got.
That's the gap, right?
But the context, they were announcing contracts left and right at the time, and like.
I understand, but is that not the word in quotations because that's what was whatever imminent, whatever
Exactly.
That's for everybody. Their translation of what that means
right.
It could be 100 million different things. That's all I'm saying is that people are speculating because of the word imminent. Ooh, it's so ominous.
Right. And what was the biggest news in town besides the draft? Of course, the golf extension at that point. So that's why I think Shefty deserves more blame in this.
Yes, Corey Berry. Technically, a long-term deal doesn't have to be done. Brad can franchise him in 2025. You know what?
We stop with that too.
No, we'll do that when we get. All right, then let's get into it.
Yeah.
All right. What?
You know what I want.
What do you want?
Let's cut the shit.
We will. I'll give you that when we come back.
All right, bet.
I'll give it to you.
Speaking about cutting, I know you're going to cut the ish here after the break,
cut
but
the
how
hair.
about cutting your hair? Right? I'm going in, getting her done up after the show, and you can too, because awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. You stop in, you sit back, you relax, you let one of the Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week, Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
What's up, everybody? Neal Ruhl, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
Neal Ruhl here from Feldman Automotive. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. There's 18 Feldman Automotive locations, so you know there's one close to you. Go to feldmanauto.com. And it's not just Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. Ford, Kia, whatever brand you're looking for, Feldman has you represent. I just told you there's 18 dealerships, man. Like, come on. They got you covered. They're not going to BS you around on the pricing, none of that stuff. They're going to get your transaction handled quickly. Your car buying experience will be imminent. You will not be, quote, far apart with Feldman Automotive. See how I did that there? No, but again, make sure you catch us out there live. We were out there yesterday at Feldman Automotive in the Feldman Automotive Chevy location out there in Novi. It's Feldman Automotive. All right, we're keeping it pushing here, talking Jared Goff. Brad Holmes went on local radio here in town, said he has earned an extension, that they are in the process of getting that done. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, KG, intern Justin, of course, Spencer Racksta here as well, and all of you. Going back to this, so let's get into it then, shall we? Let's just cut the shit, KG. Hey. Corey Berry says, technically a long-term deal doesn't have to be done. Brad can franchise tag him in 2025. All right, guys, so that will never happen. Now, I use that, was it before the season, Spenny? Remember when I was trying to creatively craft a deal that you would agree to, Spenny?
Yes.
Spenny, you've relented a bit. If the contract starts with a 4 on the AAV, you're down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's under market value.
Man,
Why wouldn't you?
Spenny didn't give me what I wanted there. Why didn't you come back? No, you give him $35 a year.
Yeah, because that's just unreasonable.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Come on, he's not easy. Come on.
Shout out heavyweights, 5 to 7.
Shout out.
All right. But yeah, so here we are. The franchise tag will never happen with Jared Goff. And there's a couple of reasons. Number one, D-Mac, I always go to your example on this, the room. The room, the guys, the Penei Sewells that just put their career on this, the Amon-Ra St. Brown that just put his career on this. Like, this is it. So that's the number one. That's easy. Number two, the franchise tag, you guys have to remember, when you tag a player, immediately that number gets taken off your books. So if it's, say it's 45 million, 30, 40 million, whatever it is, say it's 40 million. As soon as you extend that franchise tag, Goff has the ability to, accept it. As soon as you offer it, that's 40 million on your cap that's cut out that you can't work with.
Yep.
If he then signs it and takes it, that money is all due that year.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you're going to franchise tag him and pay him that, then why don't you tack a couple years on it and an extension and massage the cap number? You see what I'm saying here? Like, a franchise tag does not make sense. When you have Sewell locked up, when you have St. Brown locked up, these high dollar figures, it just doesn't make sense, D-Mac, to take that lump sum when you can delay it. You can add the void years like St. Brown's contract. Guys, remember, we're in a new era. We're in new waters now as Lions fans. The financial game is just as important as the players on the field, D-Mac.
No, absolutely true. Not only does he have, everybody in that building is behind Jared Goff, but you listen, watch the videos after the game. Watch how guys talk to him. It's the genuine article. He is the leader of this team. And also being the leader of this team, financially, you want to be able to show flexibility, right, to help your team. Like you said, why does the franchise tag not make sense? It made sense. You could argue it a year ago, probably made more sense 2 years ago, but now, like Spenny even said, as far as don't disrespect the man at $35 million.
Yeah.
What you can hope for is that his AAV it has a 4 in it, to even if it's 49 or whatever like this, but you need the flexibility like other teams do. Don't we sit here all the time and go, how did they just add another guy? How'd they trade for that guy? How'd they sign that guy? Oh, they restructured a deal. They restructured. Well, you have to play in order to be, like you said, we're in new waters. Well, you got to operate in new waters, and this is exactly what Brad Holmes is doing. Don't jump to conclusions. The number one thing, and if you listen to Jared Goff say, take care of Brown, take care of Sewell. I'll get taken care of. I know that. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of a moot point. The point is, what is that first number? I think that was the question. Now, I asked you something during break, Neal, right? When do good teams right, that are in this situation that we're in, usually sign this player, being their quarterback or whatever, to this long-term deal? Is there a track record in the NFL of when in the calendar it happens? And what did you tell me?
Preseason, usually July.
So usually July.
And why do you think that is? Why do you think it is, everybody? When July 1 happens when June 1st happens and guys begin to get cut, you want to stay as nimble as possible. You want to get involved because every year there's somebody that you go, holy shit, I can't believe they got cut.
Yeah.
So can I ask you this question, right? Would part of being smart management and whatever is not putting your eggs in a basket when you don't have to sign to leave that money? Why? So tell me why you would sign Goff. When you just told me that, when it leaves you flexibility to your salary cap and whatever to make moves when guys are getting cut June 1st, right? Why would you, don't you look at it like I look at it and go, if he did sign right now, that'd be the stupidest move that Detroit did because you're hamstringing yourself. Am I reading this right or wrong?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it was like they would do it for if they did it for a reason.
If they did it, they had a purpose because this is their game plan. This was all part of it. That maneuverability is probably already implied in there, but again, they don't need to do anything. So I would just sit back until probably the middle of July, or when you, Neal, say they probably should be thinking we should probably hear something this week or something like that. Other than that, aren't they on point to what great team? Business as usual. So that's why I don't understand. Like, it's gonna get done to whatever it is. It's just your guess is as good as mine to what that first number is. I think it's 50.
Dante 151. Goff is expected to command somewhere around $50 million in his next contract, which would make him the highest paid quarterback in the game. That is what the Free Press posted about an hour ago.
Stop looking at it like that. You got to look at what the other quarterbacks are making. Yes, $50 million is a lot of money, but what are quarterbacks making now? Between $55 to $57 million.
Which makes Jared Goff at $50 million a deal.
Yes, under market value. Like, I don't get it.
Which is where he is now.
Yeah.
Which is where he has been.
Yeah.
And like, we're seeing it here in the chat where, and I had it here and I lost it, which is unfortunate because it was very, very good. Lems 31M, 1995, Scott Mitchell was second in yards and third in TDs. Clearly, he was elite. Hey, Lems, did he have another team that he took to the Super Bowl before he rolled into town and did that? No. Did he do it for 2 years in a row like Jared Goff has here? Did he win you more playoff games in a week than you won in 4 decades here? Did he do that? Yes, he did that. And Lems, that stuff comes at a cost. Like, what does this guy have to do? For real, what does he got to do for the people in this town? Remember when you were cheering and jumping around and everything like that? Yeah. Remember when you were chanting Jared Goff at a Red Wings game? Why were you doing that? Because you've been places you never been before. What more's a guy got to do? You know what, guys? If you're anti it and everything like that, you think he's no good, you think he's not any good, then sit it out. But here you are. I remember you guys every week after the playoff wins in the chat. You're like, go Lions and stuff like that. I mean, how can you be like that? If you think he sucks, how can you be like that? I don't get that. I'll never understand it. What does he got to do? Give me the number. Give me the line. Give me the stat. What do you need to believe in Jared Goff? Please, someone tell me in the chat now. Please tell me.
A Super Bowl.
Well, yeah. So then basically
you only believe in 5 quarterbacks.
Right. That's my point. You see what I'm talking about here?
You're not. So that's a flannel argument.
Yeah.
You're only good.
So then you think he's Joe Burrow? You think he's Lamar Jackson? You know what I'm talking about? Like all those layers of dudes that are next. Mm-hmm. That's what you're saying he is. Guess what those guys are making? Am I oversimplifying? Somebody help me for real.
No.
Am I oversimplifying this?
But there's common sense in this room, Neal. You're trying to argue to somebody that's not on the level or think that way.
I think everyone in this room agrees with you.
Spenny?
Chill on Spitty, man.
Yeah, I mean, I said they were going to
anyways, 5-7, shout out.
I said they were going to re-sign him, and I've accepted that fact.
That is all.
But even Spenny, though, who was a non-believer, there was a line that he eventually crossed.
Yeah.
when you win back-to-back playoff games here.
Yeah. And a division.
And a division title.
That you ain't seen in 30 years.
Spenny, revisit that. Where are you at with the people on Jared Goff? Can you kind of reset your stance?
No, he's our quarterback. My quarterback. They're going to re-sign him. I believe they're going to win a Super Bowl with him this year. And we move forward.
So, and that is my point, the overriding point. We'll get to that. I know we're coming up on the break. There's kind of a third angle to this with the contract and why I think the way I do about the contract and why the franchise tag is not the play.
Yeah.
Just in and above, just strictly math.
And even if you franchise tag him, what you going to do after that?
So you tag him again.
And more money in 1 year?
Right, which hinders your ability to do business severely.
It makes no sense. You're either going to sign the guy or you're not. And they're going to. So,
right. So we'll get into that as well. I want to know, Adiz 411, heavyweights was tough on Goff in the past. Detroit supremacy. Spencer's reasonable and able to see beyond hate, unlike his co-host. Now, hey, that's egregious. Heavyweights 5-7.
Easy said that he believes they're going to win a Super Bowl with Goff this year too. He's just not going to say Goff's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, and I wouldn't say that either.
And well, he'll be paid. Where do you think he rates?
Yeah, I think he'll be paid around there, and then that's what happens. And then when Dak gets paid, and when Trevor Lawrence gets paid, and when Tua gets paid, it's all going to bump
He'll slot back to where he is.
Yep.
And that good. See, like again, you know the circle of life, everybody. Elgato, I want a mobile QB.
Don't we all?
Well, Baltimore's got one. How's it working out?
Yeah.
And I'm a Lamar guy. I like Lamar.
Yeah.
But him and Goff are in the same boat, according to you guys.
They don't always equate, man.
That's your guys' take on it.
It's more than one way to win.
Sean Miller, Neal, you're talking about the bandwagon Lions fans. The real fans have been very satisfied with the Lions' moves. So, yeah. We will, though. There's a third layer I want to talk to you guys about, and Spenny wants to talk to you about Premier Pet Supply.
I do, because Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences the online and big box retailers, with one major difference. They're family and locally owned and operated for 30 plus years. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
What's up, everybody? Neal Ruhl, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that, hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What's up, everybody? Neal Ruhl for shop.woodwardsports.com. You a Brad Holmes guy? Get the Brad Holmes guy t-shirt. Unless they give Goff an extension and you're a Goff hater, then you're not a Brad Holmes guy, so you can just sit this one out. But the rest of you can go to shop.woodwardsports.com. There's a new Red Wings line. Get ready for the next Red Wings hockey season when we go to the playoffs, everybody. That is correct. Shop.woodwardsports.com, the best in Detroit sports wearables. All right, keeping it pushing, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, KG, Spencer Raxter. And, of course, we have intern Justin as well, and all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Get your thoughts out there. Get it in, everybody. Woodward Sports chat thread, speaking of that, David Brintley, he doesn't have it all. He can't even throw down the field. Is he not one of the best deep ball throwers in the NFL last year?
Anyway. led the league in passes of 20 yards or more. But,
Like-
you know, what you gonna do, Neal?
Hey, David, I appreciate you tapping into Woodward Sports. I do, but be better. Is that fair? That's a fair way to put it, right? Right, D-Mac? That's fair.
Fair.
Okay, there it is.
Just be better. We can all be better.
Yeah.
The final thing on this, too, and we're talking about Jared Goff. Brad Holmes was on local radio here in the city and said that Goff has, quote, earned an extension, and they are working towards it, i.e. it is a high priority. And for the franchise tag people out there that don't live in reality, D-Mac, here's my final point on this. And Spenny said it, and every time I hear somebody say it, it really hits home with me more and more. The window is open. The window is now. The Super Bowl window is now.
Yes. Yeah, 100 million.
Let's cut the shit. It's now.
You're as in the middle of the eye of the storm as you're going to be, right? This year, next year, whatever like this. So if you don't think that this is what they prepared for, it's getting there. And I like what Sandy said too, is that, sometimes we think we're smarter than the management and ownership. Now, in certain cases in this town, when it comes to the Lions, I think we were right in the past, but not now. And you know what? You just got to sit back. And I think it's a great position to be in when you have competency, especially not only in your GM and your coach, but your owner. So they're going to do the right thing.
Steve Wiles, I wouldn't do more than a 3-year deal. Okay, I'm Goff. No.
There you go.
What's your other play, Steve?
Right.
Like, that seems pretty simple to me.
Seems like he just going to let him walk there.
Right.
Steve,
you know what I'm saying? No, but we need to start thinking like that. That's why, well, there goes the Heaven's Door bourbon truck down Woodward. Okay, where are they going? Where are they going?
That's the ice cream truck.
No, but with the window being open, D-Mac, that's why the franchise tag is never going to be in play. Never. Because if the window's open now and this is your quarterback and you're going to make your move, then this is what it is. And you got to get your deal done, i.e. so you can be as financially nimble with your quarterback deal as possible. The franchise tag deal, once offered, is on your books. You cannot, that number gets applied to your available cap space. Once he takes it, it's guaranteed. That's it. Mm-hmm. It's a one-season deal. It's $45 million, whatever that number is. That's it. It's happening. There is no restructuring. There's none of that. It's 1 year guaranteed. It gets paid. So, again, if he's good enough to tag, then he's good enough to extend. Exactly. And if he's good enough to extend, you can add the void years and restructure years and kick the can down the road a little bit and keep this window pushing. This is it, guys. We're in the window. And for the anti-Goff crowd, then what's your move? Drop it right here in the chat. There's a lot of you in there. I see you in there. Give me your move.
Hendon Hooker, that's the move.
You're putting Sewell and St. Brown and their lifetime deals, essentially, their big money contract. That's the play?
For a lot of people, it is.
Okay. Bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. No, but D-Mac, we need to understand this. When we have these takes and we come in this chat and we start talking that ish, we need to understand this. The baseline understanding that we have to have. The window is open for a Lions Super Bowl now.
And who is the man behind that? Jared Goff.
He's driving the ship. Here's the thing. You only franchise, the situation like Kirk Cousins or stuff like this when you're going to move on from that quarterback, when he's not in your future plans.
And Kirk asked
Jared Goff's as much as in Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell's future plans as any one of these guys that they signed that you're talking about. He is the integral piece back there. So I don't know what we're talking, because this is for championship. That they're talking about it from the owner, right? Sheila comes out, Super Bowl. We expect to win the Super Bowl. So I don't think the bar's too high when that's what's coming out of there. And to your point, Neal, we're in the eye of the storm right now. This is our window and stuff. It's okay to not realize that because we haven't been here before. That's why things look a little bit different.
Right. One funky Lions fan. It's funny how 6 months ago Neal's plan was to tag Goff for the next 2 years. Now it's blasphemy. Consistency is not needed here. One funky Lions fan, I just brought that up to Spenny when I was trying to figure out a path to convert Spenny and say, yeah, let's do it.
I got converted last year. After the playoff games, I was screaming that he's the best quarterback we've ever had and that he's my quarterback. Yeah. I was bringing people in the chat to tears.
And you cried.
I cried.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
Jared
you
Goff
are-
made me shed tears of joy.
There you go.
Yeah.
And pretty soon you're
He
going to have
brought you that, Spenny.
Yeah, and
He
pretty
brought
soon
you that.
he's going to have a 16 tattooed on the corner of his eye, like the Birdman with a
We're
teardrop.
not running that back.
Oh no, it was behind the ear.
Yes.
Was it behind?
Hey, he couldn't get out of that bet. They're good enough. Thank God they didn't win. There had to be a moment in that second
Oh,
half.
I was nervous, man. I mean, like I said, I would have been the happiest tattoos I've ever would have gotten, but yeah, I was real nervous.
I would be too if I'm going to have a 16 teardrop coming down my eye.
But Spenny, here's also too. You know what? Like how I know you're committed to the fact that this is a Super Bowl caliber team. You won't run that bet back.
Yeah.
No, I mean when you brought that up, thank God, right? Because you know you're in the window now, and you realize that this is your guy. So like it or not, but remember, this is the guy that brought you those moments. They brought you to tears, brought us all jumping up and down, right? That's your guy. So, you know, maybe show him a little respect. The biggest thing to me, Neal, is the fact that I think they're trying to figure out how to make it the team friendliest, at least to maneuver. And it may not be this year, but in the next few years, while they still are in the Super Bowl windows, so this contract doesn't hamper them.
Yeah.
That's what I figured. That's what I figure. He ain't worried about. He's gonna get his money.
Yeah, and make no mistake, Goff wants his money, but he's also smart enough to realize he can't handicap.
He's
the
already
team.
got his money. He wants to win more than anything.
Exactly. So
He was already the highest paid quarterback once in his life,
yeah,
which he was.
There's nothing he can't get that he doesn't want.
pretty much. Yeah.
You know, like that's the whole thing. Except he's got to, you know, needs some other guys to get that ring.
Ryan Lentz, Zach Wilson. I offered the people out there. If you're a hater, tell me your move.
Zach Wilson.
Tell me your move. For real. Tell me. I'm looking for it. And I haven't seen anybody. It's funny, like everyone wants to talk about it, but then when I turn it around on you and say, all right, then give me the path. I gave you the path,
Right.
my reasoning. What's yours? Nothing. So great talk, everybody. Way to contribute. Like people just want to say stuff to say stuff. But then when you call them out on it, they got nothing to say, D-Mac. Like what's your path then? All right, Goff haters. What's your path? Ray Day 313. Goff is working with the team. Do you get those vibes?
Yeah.
I kind of do too. You get those vibes, D-Mac?
Absolutely.
What's that?
That Goff is kind of like working with the team.
100
you know?
million %.
Yeah.
100 million %. From all, yes. He's like a friggin' player coach, for Christ's sake. That's what I think. You know what I mean? He's in on all of this. He's been from day one. And then why do I say that? Who came with Brad Holmes, right, to start this?
JG?
Yes. The one guy. That Brad Holmes, his reputation and everything else, wasn't it on Jared Goff? Because even Dan Campbell wasn't his coach, right? It just worked out that, you know, God bless Sheila, that she could put two people together that, you know, the similarities. But Jared Goff was the one that Brad Holmes hung his first, you know, this is who I'm hanging my hat on. So does that not mean anything to anybody? It means something to me.
One funky Lions fan, Neal, don't forget the leftover cap space rolls over. If they roll over $20 million, now it makes Goff a $30 million cap hit on the tag. Or one funky Lions fans, it can roll over, and you can use that to get some of the heavy lifting out of the way with your leftover cap space. Like, again, we have to understand it is not just as simple as Goff wants 50, we want to pay him 45, give him 47.5 and roll out.
Yeah.
You got to figure out the way that this is going to get structured. You got to figure out void years at the end. You got to figure out guarantee. Do you want to do the roster bonus play?
Right.
Because everybody's done it a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has. How much of that's up front? How much of that's deferred? These are all things that you have to figure out. What's it looking like down the road? Who's going to be next? What are you going to do with Hutchinson? What are you going to do with Aleem McNeil? All these things are in play. There's a lot, man.
Yeah. And this takes me back to my point that I made before. If you truly, genuinely trust Brad Holmes, you have to trust him on every level, every layer of this thing. It's not just the football players. It's not just picking talent. It's also the contract maneuverability. And he'll be able to do that, I believe. So,
Yes, Tiger Town. Everybody's a financial expert all of a sudden. DNC ENT. I'm not a golf hater, but I'll contribute to the idiocy. Trade for Mahomes now. What's it going to take, everybody? 313. Show us. Brad, get this done. Yeah, that was pretty funny, DNC ENT. I'm sure there's somebody sitting there right now that's saying it. I'm still looking for somebody.
I ain't seen one Hendon
Not
hooker
one.
yet. I was waiting for a Hendon hooker somewhere.
Just show me your path. The window's open. Show me your path. What are you doing? So that's all I had on it. All right, when we come back, we're going to change gears a little bit. Our guy, Trevor James, will join us, Detroit City FC sporting director. We'll talk about what they got going on. I want to talk about culture, too, and it's a good segue. You know, it's a good way into our Lions discussion that we've been talking about. How do you identify your guys, your culture guys? I always thought culture meant you were winning. But I'm starting to change my tune on that, especially as I see some commonalities around successful teams in this town. Live from the Planet Fitness Studios, you guys know what it is. They give me the great corporate speak to tell you, right? $1 down, $10 a month, $1 down, $24.99 a month for the black card. Get access to every Planet Fitness in the world. For me, it's more than that. It's not a number, which is a great number. Don't get me wrong, because I know people that are paying $100 plus bucks a month for a gym because it's got a stupid rock wall. Let me tell you about Planet Fitness, everybody. I took that step about 3 years ago, and it's changed my life, and it can change your life too. There's Planet Fitnesses everywhere, as I said, but you can get any kind of work done that you need to do. I do things one way. I'm more of a cardio guy. I've gotten into lifting a bit more. Spencer Raxter. Safe to say you're changing your life to a degree, right?
Yes, I am.
That's fair. You're doing it through
Planet
Fitness, everybody. He's a weights guy. What are we on today?
Back
today. That's what he does. I'm on the treadmill for an hour.
Pull downs and rows, baby.
There it is. But you can do it all at Planet. See, two guys, different goals, different ways of approaching things. What's the common thread? Planet Fitness, because it doesn't matter, guys. You walk in the door, you get your work done, you take your shower, whatever you got to do in a clean facility, you get on about your day. Go to planetfitness.com, jump in there, or pull in the parking lot. There's over 50 of them in the Metro Detroit area alone. Darren McCarty, it is Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Buying your first Feldman Chevrolet is much more than buying the car that will get you from point A to point B. It's a place for first memories, some big, some small. As she grows, you're not just buying her a Chevy, you're buying into a Feldman family. With more than 700,000 vehicles sold, from generation to generation, Feldman just keeps rolling.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Visit this Sport Dispensary today for deals too good to miss. Meet a team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere and shopping experience. Try the freshest inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. Come through our stores or order on Dispo Dash today. Dispo Dispensary, DispoShops.com, your local cannabis plug.
All right, keeping it pushing here. Hour number 2 of the show. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty. We have KG, intern Justin, Spencer Raxter, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. And since it is Thursday and it is noon, you guys know what that means. The sporting director of Detroit City FC, of course, he is Trevor James, our guy, kind enough to make some time for us here in studio. And Trevor, anything happen with Detroit City at all this week?
It's been a quiet week. It's been a quiet week, so just a normal.
Just working on your golf game?
Just working on the golf game.
Absolutely. You guys, obviously, with the huge U.S. Open Cup win at Houston against the Houston Dynamo, the defending U.S. Open Cup champions. And Trevor, look, you've done it all in this game. You've been a scout for the English national team. You've been a scout for Barcelona. You've been assistant coach to David Beckham. You've done everything. Have you ever been a part of a match where it's gone to penalties and in the 11th round, your second-string keeper scores the penalty to win the match? Have you ever been a part of that before?
No, that's a first for me. That's a first. There's been some penalty shootouts, some good, some not so good, but not to go all the way through the team, and obviously for the keeper to save a penalty and then score the winning penalty, it's amazing.
D-Mac, that would be like Chris Osgood.
I'm not gonna, but Ozzy has an NHL goal.
Yeah, he does.
So
that is true.
That's not out of the contest, and we see that the goalkeepers are better in soccer. They push up and aggressive. We see them, playing a man up and stuff like this. The whole thing, Trevor, and I'm not gonna. I almost equate it to Miracle on Ice. To be able to go into, as DCFC, into Houston, into an MLS stadium, to be down 2-0. Right on the road, like, am I making too much of it, or what, to experience that feat with that group of players? And I know that Neal wants to get into culture and stuff like this, but it's having the right mentality. Maybe not because the talent level is different, the pay level is different, but the fact of, can you talk about that experience? Because you've been how long have you been in this game?
Oh,
his whole life.
10 years or so.
10 years. It's over 10 years in the game. But can you
second season.
Can you speak about that? And the big thing too, right? Was it more enjoyable now strictly being sporting director of something like that than what you could have maybe experienced it as a coach?
Yeah, I think first of all, obviously, as you said, we would, to come back from being 2-0 down, but also when we went 3-2 down, because we just equalised. And you think, right, we're back in it now. They've virtually gone up the other end and scored, the third goal. So to again, pick our heads up and keep playing and keep wanting to push forward, it's great to see. It's a sporting director
with the equalizer.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's great to see us, keep going and push through that. And as you say, you talk about culture, but that is a big part of it, and a belief that we have in the group right now that we can actually get back, and whether it's an MLS team or a USL team, it doesn't matter. Our performances are the same. We're trying to perform the same. So it was great. As far as enjoyable, I mean, you always want to be on the sideline as a coach, and as I said, I'm fairly new remote from that. So but I felt what the coaches were going through, especially when it got to the PKs, because as I've said there, I've been on both sides of that. So it can be a horrible experience, or it can be a fantastic experience. And, and I think we deserved it in the end. And obviously, a great night for Carlos,
No question about
Neal,
that.
Real quick, the team now, right? Because you have more of a veteran team or like experienced guys. But what is the attitude that they draw from it? Obviously, there's a high, but I mean, going to knowing that you can do this. And you mentioned it. It doesn't matter who we play, at what level, we're going to go out and we think we can compete no matter what the score is. Is like practice this last week or guys being around, did this help like revitalize maybe more things, more self-confidence in the group?
Yeah, I think so. And as you say, with the leadership, we have some experience now within our league, that we play in. So we know we can respond and we know we can compete with the better players. So, but I think it is belief, it's belief that, we're in the game. Yes, we've given up a goal and we've still got to keep to our game plan. And the coaches work very hard at getting the players to do that. And the players work very hard to believe in it and to keep going. So when you have a night like that, obviously it's fantastic for everybody at the club that what you're doing is paying off, and on to the next one.
Talking with Trevor James here, sporting director for Detroit City FC, right here on Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. People in the chat, Danny G, Trevor, all caps. The man is in the building. So your fan base is following you around.
Oh, that's good.
as well, Trevor. Rack says that Williams' goal was crazy. No, it absolutely was. But I want to get into culture, Trevor, because you were doing both double duty, GM, coaching, all that kind of stuff. When Detroit City made the switch to USL Championship, you kind of put a roster together. And I've always been a guy, and I've been around sports for a while now and travel with teams and all of that. I've always been a guy that thought that culture was overrated. Like, show me a winner, I'll show you good culture, obviously. And I always thought that was kind of directly tied to winning. When you put together a team, and we've seen this with the Detroit Lions, where they've had a renaissance. They talk about Detroit-style guys. What about you? When you're putting Detroit City FC together, is there a fit that you're looking for? Because I know a lot of teams in the USL will just go get whoever costs the most and plug them in, and inevitably it seems like it doesn't work. You can look around the USL. Were you looking for certain guys, certain Trevor's guys, Detroit City FC guys, culture guys? Were you doing it that way?
Yeah, a little bit. I think you check out as much as you can, get as much information about players before you bring them in. And hopefully when you get to bring them in, they go along with the culture that is in place. And obviously, conformity is a big word we use with our group. Nobody's more important than anybody else, whether it be, the team captain, or a young first-year pro, or the coaching staff, or us in the office.
Except for the broadcaster.
Except for the broadcaster, right. Stands alone.
That's because he buys you bourbon. Come on, man. I mean, it's a payoff right there.
That's because that's real, Trevor. That is real. And I know with Oakland basketball, one of the Oakland basketball players, he would shout this in every close game at the end. He would say, "We love each other more than they do." Mm-hmm. And that became real to me as what I saw. That's real, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. As you said, and we're having a great week to look at that, because we've gone from a tough game in Loudoun,
right,
where we didn't play our best, but we got something out of the game. Nate is in the team of the week, goalkeeper of the week, for the performances. Carlos comes in on Tuesday and have a night that he'll never forget, and both goalkeepers are happy for the other guy, and I think that that probably is what you're saying there, is that with our our group, as I said, the captains of the pull bags off the bus, it's everybody the same. So I think we're all pleased when other people are successful, and this week has been an ideal week to see that.
When the guy beside you is more important to you than you are to yourself, and that's exactly so. I think, Neal, how you preface this, and we talked about where you always thought, show me winners and I'll show you culture. This is the why constant success, why teams can win here and win there, because that culture of the love, we love each other more, or the love to it is shown, and it's not shown to you when the camera's on. It's shown when the bus unloads at 4 a.m. and whatever, and there's Michael Bryant, your captain, pulling bags off the bus with everybody else, and Nate's got 3, and because everybody's just as important as everybody.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
And that's why. So if I always say, don't tell me right or wrong, tell me the why. The why to that win started a long time ago, and it started in the cult, right? That's all you're seeing over and over again, to whoever comes in, buying in. And you nailed it, Trevor, because you're not always going to get that person to buy in. But that's where now you, as a sporting director, where you can strictly focus on that. Ain't nobody bullshitting you, bro. Like you ain't, you know what I mean? If you're not, you could love, and I'm sure this happens. You love a talent. You love a player. He could help this team. But again, he won't fit. He won't grab a bag, so to speak, for the bus. So you know what? That supersedes everything. That's when culture, right, Neal? When the talent, and we've seen this in spots, right? We've mentioned it with Jalen Carter or whatever drafted, or Brad Holmes guys. The same thing is what Trevor's built here, and that's why it's successful. So in saying that, we've talked about it in the past. The guys that he does get tell their friends, and then they tell their friends. This is a pretty good spot to be. You know, it's where you want to be, and that's why you're getting some of these veteran players that realize it's not always just about the money.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
God bless you, man.
So Trevor, how about this now? Third match in 7 days. An absolute suicide run here for Detroit City FC. Phoenix Rising coming into town Saturday at Keyworth, national television on CBS Sports Network. Safe to say everybody will be a little extra. Even for Detroit City fans, there'll be a little extra in that building Saturday, won't there?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's, it was a fantastic night Tuesday, and we feel we got what we deserved in the end. It's great that there was some fans there. Obviously, if it had been one of those historic nights at Keyworth, obviously it would have been more enjoyable for a lot more people. But I think we certainly want to put on another show Saturday, and on Tuesday beat the cup holders, and then hopefully Saturday get a good result and a win against the USL champions holders,
the defending USL champions. So there it is, everybody. Ipswich Town, huh?
Oh yeah,
going to Premier League.
Yeah. So that's Ben Morris is on a run right now. So
he is. He's had a week, huh?
Yeah.
I was gonna say was he on one when that news kind of broke?
Yeah. He's
excited.
He's been following with obviously a lot of the players he's still friendly with. So
yeah,
I think they've got a trip to Vegas coming up. So I think he's looking forward to seeing how they do there.
That'll be pure electricity.
Yeah, but it's great for the club. For the club. They've turned it around in the last 2 seasons. They've really turned it around, and again got to somewhere where financially maybe they didn't think they would do. But again, I'm sure the culture is good there, and everybody's playing for each other, and what Darren said is probably being echoed there at Portman Road.
Stop me if you've heard that story before, Trevor. No, congratulations on that win. It was seismic in the U.S. soccer community, and just business as usual for Detroit City when they play MLS sides. Those are the words of Neal Ruhl, not of Trevor James, just so you know, everybody. So, Trevor, appreciate it. DebtCityFC.com for tickets. Get out there Saturday. It's going to be rocking. Talk to you next Thursday.
Great. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. There he is, everybody. Trevor James, sporting director for Detroit City FC. Tell him about an insurance legend, D-Mac.
Absolutely. Swiss Insurance. Now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier is not slipping in extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today, 313-530-1698, or go to SwissINS.com.
What's up, everybody? Neal Ruhl, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service the customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Ave, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today, lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All right, everybody, keeping it pushing. Shout out Trevor James and Detroit City FC for hooking it up. Woodward Sports chat thread, Wyatt Bear. I'm bringing the kids out on Saturday, expecting it to be rowdy. Detroit Deborah. Oh, yeah. It's going to be lit. It's going to be extra.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling the people, like if you were like thinking about going, this is the one. And I would get tickets now because they're going to be gone by the time Saturday rolls around. Phoenix Rising Saturday, defending USL champions. So the MLS US Open Cup champs Tuesday.
Yep.
Saturday the USL champions. It will be extra.
Tell you what, Phoenix Rising is a pretty cool name.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
They got some sweet kits too. I'm not gonna lie. They're black with red. And,
oh hell yeah!
Yeah, they are pretty dope.
Nice.
They're second best, maybe the second best kits in the league.
Yeah,
maybe the second best. But yeah, LFG Detroit Express star Trevor Francis in 1979 was the first EPL player to be paid $1 million to play professional soccer in Great Britain. The more you know. So there is that as well. You guys ready to? You guys ready to go a little top five? Are we ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
This one has been most anticipated. Spenny adjusted his chair right there. He's ready to go. I said I wanted to go first, but I want Spenny to go first.
I'll go first.
I do. Here it is. Top 5 movie/TV villains of all time.
Not a lot of people are going to get a couple of mine, but
really?
I see it.
Yeah. Spenny, why is it a top 5 list?
Because it's half as boring as a top 10 list.
Boom, there you go. Let's go, Rebbing Sparty. Top 5.
Oh,
Yes, here we go.
Here is my
Look at that cutie.
Here's my top 5 list.
Wow.
That is a picture.
Turn your picture off, Spenny.
Yeah, look at that.
That is freshman year of high school.
Oh my God, when's that?
Did you lose to Kelly Clarkson on American
And
Idol?
the girls go.
I was just gonna say, when's your American Idol?
My
dropping?
nana asked me if I got a perm because that was the first time I ever grew my hair out, and it grew like that. And
Look at little cute Spenny.
yeah, it curls. But all right, number 5, I have the Birds from the Birds. Like if you have an entire movie named after you, you've got to be a good villain.
Yeah.
And I used that shit. That movie scared me when I was a little kid. I was scared
birds
of
was
birds for a while. Still don't trust birds. I don't trust birds. Birds of prey are cool, but regular birds, no thanks.
Birds of prey are cool.
At number 4, I've got Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka. Like we gone in depth on why he's such a piece of shit. Like he's bedridden for 20 years, then starts crip walking when his grandson finds a chocolate factory ticket. Like Grandpa Joe, total piece of shit. Number 3, I have Rachel from Tower of God. If you don't, Tower of God is one of my favorite works of fiction. It is Amon-Ra. It's season 2 is being translated right now. She just total piece of shit, conniving, looks out for number 1, tricks everybody into thinking that she's good, and then pushes our main character off of a building at the very end of the first season. Just Rachel, terrible person.
Sounds like it.
Number 2, I got Jenny from Forrest Gump. Total bitch. Fuck Jenny. Like,
Yes.
first of all,
Hoe.
is just a hoe. Yeah, like, I mean, I'm pro hoe. Like, do your thing. But, like, use protection, especially when you're getting down.
Can we cut that, please?
Yeah, like, I'm pro hoe. Like, hoe's great. Hoes have shown me good times. I'm somewhat of a hoe myself, but you know, she's a top tier hoe, and she literally has a mentally challenged man in a stranglehold, and comes back to feed him this bastard child that's not even his, and get a piece of his billions once she's an AIDS-ridden scab. Like, she's a terrible, terrible, terrible person. And then at number 1, I have Don Quixote Doflamingo from One Piece. One Piece is my favorite work of fiction. Doflamingo is my favorite villain of all time. He is incredibly well written. He is just pure evil. He has an entire country enslaved to create different things for him, to create chemicals in a
Man.
I can go really deep into why he's a piece of shit. Just total villain. He was in a part of the ruling class, which are called the Dragons, and he was kicked out of that. His family was murdered in front of his own eyes by the lower class, and then he was kicked down to the lower class, and they didn't accept him either because he was a celestial dragon at some point. So he isn't accepted by either classes, so he's just trying to kill and rule all of them. He is the man, one of the best villains of all time. Don Quixote Doflamingo. He's the GOAT.
All right. Well, the reaction is not necessarily to the list, as you would expect.
Shout out Black Star. He says he's watching Dressrosa arc right now. One of the greatest anime arcs of all time.
Okay. The reaction. Freddie felt 313. Spenny looks like the kid from Stranger Things. That's aggressive.
That is aggressive.
That's a little aggressive. There's some Augustus Gloop comps as well. I would not say that myself, but that's what it is. Michael says, Spenny, Jenny's kid was Forrest's son.
Yeah.
That is a lie.
Sure.
We don't know that.
Jesus.
Sure he was.
That kid was black, man. She got blew out at that Black Panther party.
Okay. It's a little strong right now.
Allegedly, Kenny.
Yeah.
Right. And it's about to get stronger.
KG.
It's about to get stronger.
Welcome to the mic. Jesus Christ. All right, go ahead.
All right, so my top 5 list.
Mike Tirico, shout out.
Hey, I got some gems, man. I got some gems. But at number 5, Jenny from Forrest Gump.
Yeah, fuck that bitch.
Yes, she is the reason I absolutely hate this movie, man. She is a used cigarette, but in the world of movies. Okay,
you're the one who started it.
I can't stand her. We've already went over the reasons why that's not Forrest's baby. I will fight you to the death about it. At number 4 is Rodney from Baby Boy. Now, a lot of people may not be familiar with this movie, especially the white contingent, but the black contingent know exactly what I'm talking about.
Is he more light-skinned?
So Rodney is Snoop Dogg. All right, in this movie, the main actor is Tyrese and Taraji P. Henson. Tyrese is a young man coming of age, and he has his baby mother, who is Taraji P. Henson, and they have on and off falling out. You know, they got kids together. Tyrese ends up getting kicked out of her apartment. And meanwhile, she's sending letters and calling Snoop Dogg, who is Rodney in this movie. Snoop Dogg gets out of prison and moves into Taraji's apartment. And then he just starts becoming a menace, man. He almost rapes Taraji in the first week. He does a drive-by on Tyrese. He kicks down Tyrese's son's pillow fort. Like, this guy is like,
man, that's the most diabolical thing of all right there.
Rodney's shit.
Rodney was a piece of shit, and it got so bad to where Omar Gooding, which was Tyrese's friend in the movie, and Tyrese have to go kill him at the end of the movie. They have to go shoot Snoop Dogg dead because he was wilding so much. But number 4, Rodney. Number 3 in my list. A lot of people who've seen Django think that Leonardo DiCaprio was the villain. And although he did a great acting job.
It's the butler. It's Samuel Jackson.
Thank you so much. Steven from Django is the true villain in the movie Django. He is doing everything to keep her brother down. Like, after Leonardo gets killed, he wants to continue this whole thing. He kidnaps Broomhilda. He tries to have Django castrated. He wants to send him to the LeQuint Dickey mining company to literally be worked to death. He is just the worst of the worst, man. On top of the fact he's an Uncle Tom. Come on, Samuel Jackson. Yeah. Come on, Samuel Jackson, man. Number 2 goes without explanation.
I slept on Debo. I did. Listen, I should have had Debo in there.
This man has no job. He has no family. He gets up. He peruses the neighborhood, robs people, and knocks them out. That's
Shut up,
Debo.
punk! I'll knock your ass out.
This is Debo in a nutshell.
Yes.
And Debo was so bad that after Craig kicked his ass with a brick for laying his hands on the lovely Neal Long, in the second movie, his only purpose is to get out of jail to fight Craig again. Mm-hmm. So Debo just one of the worst.
Real quick on Debo too, like he gave guys choices like, you're going to help me break in this house or I'm going to knock your ass out. Make a choice. Like, who's going to choose to get knocked out? No one's going to choose, knock me out. No one's going to choose that, Debo. Come on.
I mean, if you can't fight, you might choose the other option. But
I'm just saying.
Hey, Craig beat his ass, so that's all that matters. But
R.I.P. to Craig hit him with a brick.
He had to. You would have too.
Craig.
But anyway, R.I.P. to the great Tiny Lister, man. But number 1 on my list, this movie taught me that family is only a word. You cannot trust anyone in this lifetime, and that is Scar from The Lion King.
Diabolical.
Let me tell you, man. He murders his own brother in front of his nephew.
Now, wait a minute.
He murders his own brother in front of his nephew and takes the mantle of king with hyenas as his henchmen. This guy is just the worst of the worst, and as you see the graphic up there, These are the deep origins of how the light skin versus dark skin beef happens.
Come on, Kenny.
You know what I love about this?
Hey, it's the truth.
KG is such a veteran. What a legend. He mixed in the top 5 in the Urban Update in the same.
Hey,
we learned a lot of stuff today.
I try,
I
man.
appreciate you.
That is not the way the light skin versus dark skin beef got started, is it?
Well, it may not be the way it started, but it's definitely the way it continues. But that is my top 5 list. Scar has literally scarred me for life. I don't trust anyone to this day because of Scar.
All right, let's do this. I'll read a couple of the reactions. We'll take the break. We'll get D-Mac's list and my list. I knew this one was...
We got a Juice's list, too.
And oh, yeah, we got intern Justin. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it that way, then. I'll read a couple of these. We'll take the break. We'll come back, and we'll get to it. RM Dole 19, any list without Shooter McGavin is invalid. He was a good villain.
He is a good villain.
Yeah.
He sold short. You know what, RM Dole? I'll allow that.
So is the guy from Billy Madison, the guy with the weasel laugh.
Yeah. He was a good villain. No doubt. Anakin says, I've never seen Forrest Gump, so don't spoil it. It's been out for like 20 years.
Yeah,
it's on you at this point, Anakin.
Yeah, Forrest becomes rich, and Jenny's a hoe.
Would Bobby Boucher's mama count as a movie villain?
Ooh.
Danny G.
I feel like his dad's more of the villain.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
The meme obviously got a lot of discussion as well. That graphic is crazy. Danny G. Freddie Felt 313. Let KG cook.
We can agree. This is gaslighting.
Oh, yeah.
Wyatt Bear.
Don't even get me started that the Lion King is stolen from a Japanese anime. So let's not even get into that. But go ahead.
Nick Hedigen. Debo's just working with the tools he had at his disposal. That's fair.
Debo could have did anything in the world, then wake up and rob the neighborhood. Like, seriously.
Wyatt Bear. Debo had his redemption arc in The Dark Knight. I forgot about that.
He did.
He was a good guy in that movie.
Paul Thomas, 30 years, 1994 Forrest Gump.
Oh, excuse me, 30 years.
94, damn.
That's insane.
Yes, it's on you.
I saw that one in the theater as a young, as a kid, as a young buck, man. 30 years, bro.
Damn. I know you was mad after you paid for that ticket and seeing that hoe on the screen.
I know one thing that won't make you mad. The new morning show here at Woodward. It is Wake Up Woodward. You guys know what it is. 8 to 10 a.m. right here on the Woodward Sports Network. You know the players. You know the game. Broder, Sam Flannel, Kool-Aid, KG, JB Smooth. They're squad deep. 8 to 10 a.m. Wake Up Woodward. Every Monday through Friday right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Detroit's #1 sports network. Facts.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The new Glorious Ice Water Bubble Hash Pre-Roll, now with diamonds, constantly pushing to create the best Canada experience. The perfect boost comes from added touch of pure THC diamond dust, allowing flower with only the highest terps, making the best even better. Glorious Cannabis, check us out at your local retailer or gloriouscanna2ns.com.
Oh, yes. You guys are on some great ones in the Woodward Sports chat. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, KG, Spencer, Raxter, intern Justin, all of you. Top 5 villains. It's a top 5 Wednesday on a Thursday, aka top 5. People they have some good ones. Lorena Rios, the movie Misery, Annie Wilkes, aka Kathy Bates, when she breaks my guy's ankles.
Yeah, she was crazy.
That was absolutely crazy. Art Vandelay. How about Boggs Diamond in Shawshank? Another great villain.
Oh, that's a good one.
Was he the dude that was throwing people off the roof and stuff like that?
Yeah.
He was a villain, man.
That's
Lord Farquhar from Lentz.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now there are some good good villains out there. But yeah. D-Mac, you want to go next?
Yeah.
All right, D-Mac's top 5 villains, movies, and TV
fire
list.
it up. First one I ever seen on the screen. Oh, look at that picture. Nice chicken wings. I love it. A lot of you have requested it in first villain ever, Darth Vader in the black.
Yeah.
And this is the way he just like choked people out and just decimated them. Darkness.
He cut off
when he was
17.
bad. Kang the Conqueror. He's arguably the most powerful being in the universe, and he's evil, and he just wants to destroy worlds and take it over. So, we'll see more of him in the Marvel universe. Hans Gruber, Die Hard, right? Diabolical.
Yeah,
he was. That's
in the end of that, and I loved his death too, falling backwards.
That was one of the few movies where the villain got a proper.
Yeah, and it was and it was one of the first two really realizing that like this could be a real person. And I think the reality of like there could be a real Hans Gruber out there.
Also, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Fight me.
Yes, it is.
Die Hard 2 is for sure. Well, Die Hard and one.
So
two,
is Lethal Weapon.
Yep.
He's buying a Christmas tree in the beginning of the movie, for Christ's sake.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hannibal Lecter along the same line. Silence of the Lambs.
Classic.
The psychological and the fact of being a doctor.
Yes.
Right? Being a doctor and could do all that stuff, and even if you watched Hannibal, the way that he dissected and made Ray Liotta like eat his own brain as he was still alive and stuff, which is realistic. Probably a doctor could do that. So sinister like that, and then number one,
good enough for me, D-Mac.
Number one
of the best ever to ever.
Number one, not only character as we've seen, but Vince McMahon, the character that fought, my guy, the Authority stuff. But from what we found out, he just is the most evil person that has been around, maybe realer, and it's more to reality. His character seemed more of what he is truly like.
Yeah, you can't tell the difference. Between
He's number one, and he's taken up the most time on my screen of anybody in my life.
Yeah, that's right.
As a villain.
That's
and that is a good list. That's rock solid list right there, D-Mac. Good work on that. What about Jesus, a.k.a. Justin the Intern? You're in these reindeer games, too. Break it down.
I am.
Look at that. Look at that photo.
Yep, little rally cap on. First of all, honorable mention, I have the Jedi Council for the leading to my number 3.
Okay.
But number 5, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, so Green Goblin has got to be on there. Absolutely sinister.
Yep. William Dafoe played that.
Yep, and then he also, he kills Aunt May multiple times, does it for pretty much no reason in almost every movie. So it's got to be number 4 is a little interesting one, Star-Lord in Infinity War, because he is the reason that they lose that fight against Thanos on Titan. Yeah. They have him beat. They're about to take off the gauntlet. The movie's about to end, and then he just hits him in the head and knocks him out of the state. Like, what a fucking dumbass.
That's fair.
All right.
That's fair.
And then number 3, I am with D-Mac. I got Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader. It's because he was also a villain at the end of the third movie when he's still Anakin Skywalker and he has the conflict and he leads to 2 separate governments being completely dismantled.
That's the point. That's why he's not a villain.
Yeah.
He brings balance to the universe. So what if he kills a bunch of children? He's the chosen one.
I agree with he brings balance, but it doesn't mean he fucks up a bunch of shit on the way.
Spanny?
That's his whole thing.
Right.
That's why I don't see him as a
It's
villain.
arguable that he's a villain. I will agree with that.
He brings balance to the universe.
You're talking about Thanos, not Darth Vader.
No, Darth Vader. Both of them.
No, Thanos is more. I can argue that on Thanos more than Darth Vader because he made a decision, right? Like you said, to whack. Like Thanos didn't care. He was just making balance to everybody, wiping them out regardless. And the half of it, Anakin, Darth Vader made a choice, and like you said, to the Padawans and stuff like this.
There was
about the younglings.
No,
there was multiple.
What makes them villain and more? There's way more to that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
an absolute menace too. That scene in Rogue One where he just goes ham on when he's Darth Vader. Oh my lord! All right, so number 2, the best. He could be arguably the best villain of all time. best performance for sure is Heath Ledger's Joker. Man just does not give a fuck the whole movie. No fucks given. Burning money, killing people with knives. Guns are too easy to kill people for him. That's just a classic performance.
He was legit. He was one I was after I sent it in, and I was looking around. I was like, man, he was an elite villain.
Oh, absolutely.
Elite.
And then number one, I had to do some research on it to make sure that he was in production, but Javier Baez, who haunts me in real life every single day I watch the Tigers. I watch almost every game, and Omar goes back. Yeah. And he tortures my real life, not just cinematically. So he's got to be number one.
What movie is he in?
He's in a Fox movie for their 2016 World Series win, and he is in a Fox show.
Oh, okay.
And there will be a future movie on the greatest robberies of all time, and he will be on that list.
That's fair.
30 for 30 for sure.
There you go. So, hey,
solid list.
Fit the criteria. Absolutely fit the criteria. All right, my list. Top five villains of all time. The Fort Wayne Comets mascot.
Shout out.
Right there. Honorable mention, Bo Schembechler, who was in the 1994, 95 movie The Program.
Yeah.
Had a cameo appearance in the movie The Program.
I'll allow it.
Fired Ernie Harwell.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Piece of shit.
Yeah. on top of the fact of the other stuff too. So yeah, that you can't
fired Ernie Harwell.
That's crazy.
Piece of shit. All right, number 5, Skylar White, Breaking Bad. All right, guys, look.
Talk about it.
Be more supportive of your husband, okay? Now,
is
cooking meth something that I would advise? No, it's not. But Walter White had to cook meth. He had cancer, for Christ's sake.
Yes.
And Skylar White was not supportive at all.
Right.
Was an obstacle. She was in the way.
And she flip-flops throughout the whole series.
And that's my other problem with it. When the money's around, she's down and everything's cool.
Yeah.
She changed real quick.
Yeah, she sucks. That's a great pick.
She reminds me of Tasha from Power, but absolutely, man.
Her and Walt Jr. ruined the show for me.
I can see if he wasn't successful at it,
but he was cooking.
Yeah,
literally and figuratively.
Let him go.
That's where I'm at with it. Number 4, Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs. And again, he scared me. I've never been more scared by somebody who doesn't really do a ton in a movie. You know what I'm on screen, you see it. He was such a good villain.
Psychological.
He was a psychological villain.
Shout out, Mike. Oh, meth is underrated.
That's fair. No, that's fair. He was just an elite. Plus, you know what? In the end, he had an agenda, and he carried out the agenda. Yeah. He was having an old friend for dinner. Yeah. So there it was. Shout out Hannibal Lecter. Number 3, The Man in Bambi. Is there a worse beginning to a movie in movie history than Bambi? The man just takes Bambi's mother, and you know the rest. Come on.
Yeah.
Sleeper choice for sure.
What is wrong with... Is that a Disney movie?
You know it is.
Yeah.
You know Disney.
That's egregious,
don't
man.
Get me started. Pocahontas should be up here with movie villains too, that white man.
The Man.
Yeah.
Number 2, and he made a case for number 1 for me. Terry Silver in Karate Kid 3. And maybe a bit niche, I guess you could say, but if you saw it, that man is the most diabolical villain of all time. Befriends Daniel LaRusso, tells Mr. Miyagi and Daniel LaRusso that John Kreese is dead.
Yeah.
And then brings him into the dojo and has John Kreese pop out from behind a wall. That is and then psychologically owns Ralph Macchio, has him beating up planks of wood to get him ready for the All Valley Karate to the point where his knuckles bleed, and then brings in Mike Barnes and makes a pass at his girlfriend out in public, and he snaps and just punches him because he had him training so psychologically. Just diabolical. He had the ponytail and everything, that look on his face. Terry Silver, for me, man, pound for pound, one of the most elite villains that's ever walked the face of the earth. Freddie Felt, Neal, can you please do the Terry Silver? Wah. I know. Corey Berry, who's even seen Karate Kid 3? Freddie Felt 313 has. And then number 1, Grandpa Joe.
Piece of shit.
The ultimate piece of shit person that we've ever seen in our life. He lays on a bed on a couch in a living room for 20 years. His family's scraping to get by. Charlie's out there in the streets selling newspapers, bringing back his nickels and dimes to the family. And there's Grandpa Joe with a tobacco habit, laying in this bed for 20 years.
That's been freeloader.
But then all of a sudden, when there's a golden ticket involved, he pops out of that bed and Carl Lewis sprints to the door to go check out the chocolate factory, tries to get Charlie to lose the chocolate factory, gets him to cheat, lie, steal fizzy lifting drink. All in all, pretty much the worst person and look, I know that they're playing characters. I understand that they're not that in real life. But Grandpa Joe, the man that played him, I'm sorry. I think we lost you back in 1980. Good.
Oh,
good.
man.
Because I feel better knowing that even the man that could perpetrate Grandpa Joe is no longer among us. Sorry.
Facts.
Grandpa Joe. There it is. Tell him about Lady Jane's, D-Mac.
Absolutely.
Grandpa Joe never went because he was laying in bed the whole time.
Absolutely, but you can, because awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, relax. Let one of the Lady Jane's stylists make you look and feel great. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences the online and big box retailers, with one major difference. They are family and locally owned and operated for 30 plus years. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
All right, we're coming on the stretch, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty. Of course, we have KG, Spencer Raxter, intern Justin, a.k.a. Jesus, in the house. All of you, tap into that Woodward Sports chat thread. Get your thoughts out there. Top 5 list next week. If you have a good idea, dump it into the chat.
Are we doing fries?
French fries?
Yeah.
All right. Spenny, you stand on business.
I
there
like
you go.
that one.
D-Mac, top 5 French fries?
Sounds good.
That's going to be spirited.
Yeah, I'm
There's
with
a lot
that.
of good French fries. I don't know the name of what's going to be my number one. I got to figure out the name of them. They're like crispy, I don't know. Like the cafeteria French fries, they got like the little crispy stuff on the sides of them. I can't.
Crinkle?
No, not crinkle cut. They're like regular French
Oh,
fries.
yeah,
but
yeah.
The outside is like.
There is a name for them. I can't remember it either.
I don't know. I got to figure it out.
Yeah. George Ribbo, Terry Silver is the devil. If you've seen that movie, you can never unsee Terry Silver. I'll just say it like this. Top 5 French fries coming up next week.
This was a good one, though. Everybody had a great
Everybody had a thought on
I found the perfect picture, too.
D-Mac, I want to circle back to the Tigers last night and what happened with the extra innings in a game at Cleveland on a road trip where they went 1-5, by the way, and had an opportunity to win the game. They were in extra innings. As you know, D-Mac, the runner is assigned second base, and away you go. Javi Baez is on second base. There's a line. There was a ground ball hit in front of Javi at second to the shortstop. Javi's too far off second. They throw to second. Javi's tagged out. D-Mac, Javi Baez cannot play tomorrow. He cannot play tomorrow. And look, you guys know how I roll with AJ Hinch. I'm an AJ Hinch fan. I love him. He wins us more. He adds to our win total as a manager.
How upset would you be?
I believe that. I'm calling for it, though. AJ, please do the right thing and bench this man. D-Mac, you can't have that shit.
Well, I think that
you can't have it.
Well, so let's look back to AJ's history when this happened. Something happened last year where
Toronto.
he was undisciplined, base running or late in the game, and he sat him out. So obviously, like AJ Hinch has self-awareness of this team, right? And the fact that we know why Javi Baez has to be out there. It's not his production, it's his contract. So hopefully, Neal, you'll know that because this is sort of an AJ Hinch thing that you almost expect him to be benched. Right, to see if not whether it'll help or not, but it gives Hinch an excuse to take him out of the lineup and not have to play him. And I think that if you're Javi Baez, you don't want to give the manager an example, any reason to keep you out, that he can go to ownership and say, see what I'm talking about? So this is Javi's got to do, because he's not doing much. He's got to do all the little things right, and this ain't one of them. So, I mean, now you're becoming a hindrance. And what's your war? Wins above replacement or whatever like that, because I don't think...
He just flipped negative yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, then you got all this information backing you up as a manager of why not to play. So, I wouldn't expect to see him in the lineup.
How mad would you be if he does play?
I'll be upset. 100% I'll be upset. Because, like, Reese Olson's pitching his ass off and has no wins.
It's crazy.
Like, we have to get to there. And I know the people... Jacob says, if Ibanez didn't severely F up that double play, extra innings wouldn't have happened and Ibanez wouldn't have been in that situation. But, Jacob, I was told third base is not a problem on this roster.
I mean...
I wonder who in the studio told me that.
That was me.
Oh.
We ain't gotta pretend. You know where it came from.
That's right. That was you, KG. That's right.
And look at what's happened. He's one of your better hitters on this team. So I stand by that. Yes, he made a mistake yesterday, but I stand.
No, but look, Jacob... The bottom line is this. You can have a guy make a mistake on a double play. You can have that. You cannot have what Javi Baez did, yes. Yeah. You can't have that.
Not an extra inning.
You can't have it, guys. And look, my little Tigers text group that I'm a part of, the Alavila fan group, sent me this. Javi Baez walk percentage year by year. 2022, 4.4% of his at-bats he walked. 2023, 4.4% of the at-bats he's walked. 2024, 4.4% of his at-bats. Remember I was told he was walking. Remember that?
Yeah.
He's back.
He was back. I was told that.
He took some walks.
I know this is very geeky. Weighted runs created plus, which is kind of like, how many runs do you create?
Yeah.
That's kind of the easy way to say it. For Javi this year, it's half of what it was last year. It's 33 compared to 66 last season. For as bad as he was, he's half as bad, 50% worse this year. He this season is hitting 176. You guys know it, all right? You guys know the numbers. You guys know the numbers. All right?
Let him cook. He's got to cook himself into a blender, and you're gonna pop. You're going to pop.
He can't be on this roster next year. He can't be. He can't be. I don't care what the numbers are. I don't care what the money is. He can't be on this roster next season. Can't. Don't care what it costs. Enough. Enough.
How is Neal going to make it to October, man?
He can't be on this roster. For real. He can't be. I don't care what the cost is. He's a negative WAR player. All the metrics, all of it. You're literally better off with anybody else at shortstop. Anybody else. And if you're going to pull that shit where you cost games and extra innings, you're out. We can't have it. You can't have this. Cleveland's leading the division. You gotta give yourself a chance in those games.
Yeah.
Reese Olson pitched his ass off, and that's the ending?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll make it till October.
And
I don't know.
Right there. That point right there. right? What I've noticed in watching is that AJ Hinch realizes what a deficit either the bottom of the lineup, the bats, the Javis, the whatever like this are affecting some unbelievable quality starts, even by Flaherty, even by everything else. So if you expect him to make a move, it's because I think he realizes how good the pitching is, and you can't do this. You were sitting here yesterday going, can we get Reese Olson to win? Because he's pitched so well. So I think that the deterrent of how it might affect the rest of the team is why AJ Hinch will get ahead of this. That's my thinking, and seeing is why they're making roster moves and calling Perez up and sending Meadows down and stuff like this. So you might get your wish sooner than later, because it seems like they're trying to be a little bit more proactive.
What happened yesterday is egregious because it's not that 3-pitch strikeout where he swings at every bouncing curveball that's thrown at. It wasn't even that. You are in control of that moment.
Yeah.
You are in control.
They give you runners on base and extras. You can't do that.
You can't do that, guys. You just can't. Now you're 5 games back at Cleveland. You guys know the deal, all right? Mm-hmm. And no, maybe I won't make it till October. Maybe I won't.
It don't look like you will.
I can't have it, KG. I can't. I can't have what happened yesterday.
To be honest, unless he keeps making game-altering mistakes like the one he made yesterday, like they're probably going to stick it out. So it would almost behoove you for him to keep costing Tigers games, and then maybe they'll do something. But until then, they're going to ride this out. Chris is determined to ride this out. He paid him too much money.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Jacob, we need another shortstop then. Yeah. We do. And I don't give a shit who it is. Literally anybody else.
It could be Spenny.
Ryan Kreidler, anybody else.
I think you can. I think Spenny would be good at short.
I guarantee you Spenny doesn't get picked off a second base in extra innings.
Yeah.
Guarantee you that.
I'd take a walk, too. I got a good eye.
You got a good eye. Absolutely. Lorena Rios. Neal, remember, I said Baez will be released by June 1st. Lorena Rios, if they do that, I'm sending you a Woodward Sports t-shirt. If I got to walk it to your house on my own. If that happens, you deserve that.
Yeah. It's already made, so hey.
He'll be rescinded off my villain list.
Fletch lives daily. Is there a point at which we will be okay with Javi?
No.
We've seen 3 years of this now.
Lems 31M, make him play in Toledo for wasting our time. You can't. He's an established veteran. You can't send him down. Unless he agrees to go down.
And he's not doing that. So,
look, it was fun. D-Mac, it was fun and it was games and I liked it and it was funny. And, you guys would send me tweets and we laughed. Ha, ha, he, he. What happened yesterday crosses the line. It cannot continue.
Yeah, especially with the skid that they've been on lately.
You cannot in good conscience run that man out there again. A hero has to come along and say, enough. No more. He's got to be sat, at least for Friday, if not the weekend. He's got to be sat. And I don't care how that makes him feel. How you would feel getting sat is how I felt yesterday when you got picked off second in a game against Cleveland where we had a chance to salvage, a winning series after getting swept by the Yankees. If you're a division champion, you have to win those games.
Yeah.
And you can't win those games with him. You can't. The WAR's negative. I gave you the number. Here, real quick. He's hitting 176 with an on-base percentage of 214 with a slugging percentage of 241. What are we doing?
Gotta talk to little Chris, man.
What are we doing? Spenny, help me.
Nah, I can't.
KG, help me.
Put him down like Old Yeller.
We've been trying to help you.
I can help you, Neal.
Help me.
Visit Dispo Dispensary today for deals too good to miss. Meet a team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere and shopping experience. Try the freshest inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. Come through our stores or order on Dispo Dash today. Dispo Dispensary, DispoShops.com. This is the answer for me, Neal. Maybe it will be for you. Your local cannabis plug.
Buying your first Feldman Chevrolet is much more than buying the car that will get you from point A to point B. It's a place for first memories, some big, some small. As she grows, you're not just buying her a Chevy, you're buying into a Feldman family. With more than 700,000 vehicles sold, from generation to generation, Feldman just keeps rolling.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
Yeah, Ruhl here for Planet Fitness. You guys know what it is. Go to planetfitness.com, $1 down, $10 a month. Join the best gym in the gym game today. Sparkling clean facilities. You go in there, get your workout on, get your shower, and keep it pushing. Over 50 locations in the Metro Detroit area. You can be a Black Card member. Unlimited use of the amenities, the tanning, the hydro massage, all of it. It's the best deal in American consumerism, everybody. Not just in gyms. I'm talking about the best deal out there in this economy, everybody. Go to planetfitness.com and join today. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. All right, keeping it pushing, everybody. Final segment of the show, and I missed it. You said Crazy Clown had a good one?
Yeah, I got it.
You got it, D-Mac? Please enlighten me.
Yeah.
He says, Javi Baez is a top 5 shortstop defensively in the league. I would love to see one of El Mago's haters, Spenny or Neal or anybody else, take 110 mile per hour bad hop. Let's see Kreidler.
I could do a lot of shit for $25 million.
Yeah.
And he's top 5 dude, he made 2 errors like last game or whatever. He makes the highlight defensive play, but sometimes boots the regular one.
Yeah.
And regardless, we can all agree he's the number 1 tagger in the league.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Number 1 tagger. Thanks, Double D.
I think everyone here could name 5 shortstops that we could argue are better defensively than him. His defensive numbers are not necessarily that great.
Yeah. He's a bum.
Bottom line. That's what he is.
He's arguably the worst everyday position player in the MLB.
Absolutely.
And I don't think it's arguable. I think
really
he
not.
is.
Yeah.
He's a bum.
He's a bum.
He has no value. No team will take him.
Last year, Dansby Swanson, 52 overall defensive rating. Francisco Lindor, 2. Brandon Crawford, 3. Willie Adames, 4. Remember him? Miguel Rojas, 5. Elvis Andrews, 6. You see where I'm going with this, everybody?
Oh, I love it.
Stop with that dumb shit, Crazy Clown. Nobody in the world
is a crazy clown, so I mean, technically it's a crazy take.
Nobody in the world is good enough defensively to make $25 million and be a negative WAR player and hit 174 and walk 4% of your at-bats and get picked off in extra innings when you're the runner on sec. Stop, dude. I'm not going to make it.
Even if he had a cheaper contract, team still wouldn't want him. That's the bad part about it.
Do the right thing.
Wait, crazy. So we want 200 batting average and no defense instead of 200 and elite defense?
No, he doesn't hit 200.
Wait. We want 200. Can we get there first?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Crazy Clown said name 1. Xander Bogaerts, Trey Turner,
I like Dansby Swanson.
Bichette. Yeah, Dansby Swanson.
Alderton Simmons.
Yeah.
Hey, Francisco Lindor.
Who's that Seager kid in
Corey Seager?
Corey Seager.
He's in Texas now.
Or Texas, I mean, yeah.
Miguel Rojas is better. Like
Willie Adames.
I just gave you the list of everybody that's better. I literally just gave you the list. Not a Javi in sight.
Javi fucking sucks. He's the worst contract in the history of Detroit sports.
you got to Bonella him. You got to get him the hell out of here. You can pay him till eternity. You could make it a day that he's the biggest robber in history and make us look like shit.
In the history of Detroit sports,
in the history of Detroit sports,
there has been a lot of bad contracts.
The worst contract in
we
the
might
history
have to
of Detroit
test
sports.
this theory. Is
At
he
least-
the worst
at least-
contract?
He's
At
worse
least
than
Jordan
Charlie Villanueva.
At least Jordan Zimmerman got hurt.
Yeah, he's worse than Jordan Zimmerman. He's worse than Ben Gordon. He's
Oh,
worse than any of
God.
them.
He might be though.
He is.
I really had to. Think
I just
about
gave
that.
you the numbers.
That's crazy.
I just gave you the numbers.
Detroit is giving out a lot of bad contracts, man. That's
All right.
He has hit. His on base percentage since he got here has been 238 in 2022, 222 last year, and 176 this year. Fuck out of here, man.
It's a great
That's
way to
enough.
end it.
It is a great way. What do you got going on this weekend, D-Mac?
A lot of stuff. Far Out doing acoustic set for the Far Out Sing It Out charity tomorrow night. Sunday or Saturday, everybody who's going to Eloise, we're doing the paranormal investigation and stuff like this. And I'll hit the golf course a few times.
There
so
it is.
I'll be all right.
Sam Flannel in tomorrow. Nickel package Friday.
Lucky
I've already
you
got
guys.
him cooked up. For D-Mac, for KG, for
Deuces.
the intern Justin, and of course Spencer Extra. I'm Neal Ruhl. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.